Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tosif, and I am back with another live stream. Now, this is actually quite late. I usually start my live streams earlier, like earlier in the evening. So I do my live streams at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. And this is 10:31 p.m. actually, 10:31 p.m. Central Time. I am in Wisconsin, so I'm in the Central Time Zone. And so I don't really know um, who else is here, who else has joined. I'm not sure how many people I'll be expecting um, uh, to tune in for the live stream tonight, because this is not my usual time. And then I just set up the live stream a few minutes before I started doing the live stream. So I really haven't had a chance to promote this live stream. But anyway, I have some important things to discuss. Those who will join me live, um, it would be great to have them. But if somebody is not able to watch this live, obviously this is going to be available uh, for viewing, for replay afterwards, after this is over. But if you are joining, as always, I will request you to write your name or where you're from, what city, what state. If you could do that, I would appreciate it very much. And if this is your first time tuning in to watch my live stream, um, then I hope that you will subscribe and stay connected to my channel. Okay, so I usually wait for maybe a minute or two or three before I go into the discussion. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting for a little bit. All right, my friends, let's go into the discussion. The Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris presidential race. Which way is this race going? There are lots of questions about this race, and there will be more questions going forward. You know, it's that season. It is the season of anticipation. It's the season of speculation. It's the season of making predictions. It's the season of trying to understand the pulse of the community, different communities in different states. People are spending a lot of time doing polls, and political analysts are analyzing the data, the statistics, looking at the poll data. The political commentators are sharing their thoughts, their views, their opinions about the presidential race. And what I'm trying to do here is to present to you the relevant news and updates to the best of my ability, and to share my thoughts with you about social and political issues, both domestic and international, but in particular, the race for the White House. Now, the race seems to be getting tighter. There seems to be renewed energy on the left. There are many women who, on the left, who seem to be quite enthusiastic about Kamala Harris. I mean, this is a fact. And a lot of the things I tell you are things that I directly observe from as I meet different people, as I talk to different people, people who lean left, people who lean right, people who are right in the middle. I talk to a lot of people, and I try to get a sense of what the voters are thinking. Young voters, older voters, middle-aged voters. And I'll tell you that on the left, there seems to be enthusiasm about Kamala Harris. Now, If you are a conservative like myself, I'm a conservative, very strong conservative. I'm a Republican voter. If you are a conservative and you're hearing me say this, you're wondering, what is there to be so enthusiastic about Kamala Harris? I mean, she has not done a very good job as a VP. She was named the border czar, and look at the border. Look at the crisis at the border. It's not. It's it's a complete mess. And so, why are people on the left enthusiastic about Kamala? Well, I'm talking about women in particular. I think women on the left are enthusiastic about Kamala being at the top of the ticket. Now, as I've said before, the official nomination, the official decision that Kamala Harris is going to be the Democratic nominee, I don't think that process has taken place yet, but it's obvious that she's going to be the Democratic nominee. There are women voters in America who want to see the first woman president. That's a fact. I mean, you may disagree with them, you may agree with them, you may like Kamala Harris, you may not like Kamala Harris. I'm just stating facts because I know that there are women out there, women who vote, women who pay attention to the political developments taking place in our country, and they would like to see the first woman president. I see a viewer is here saying hi. Hello, thank you for joining. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe and stay connected. If you have any question, please ask. In 2016, it was Hillary and the Democrats. I mean, I remember 2016 very clearly. They were so enthusiastic about Hillary Clinton, that Hillary would win and she would be the first woman president. That did not happen. And thankfully, that did not happen because I voted for Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. Hillary failed to win that election. Once again, it's a good thing. So, Bass Bandit 211. Okay, viewer is asking, named Bass Bandit 211, what you talking about. I am talking about the Trump versus Kamala, the Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris presidential race, and I'm talking about which direction this race is going. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about the race and what we may expect to see going forward. So as I was saying, in 2016, a lot of Democrats, they had a lot of energy on their side. They thought Hillary was going to win. 2016, that did not happen. 2020, a man named Joseph Biden, he got the nomination from the Democratic side. So anyone who wanted to see a woman president in 2020, that didn't happen. So now in 2024, the Democrats are energized about Kamala Harris. Now, to all those viewers who are joining now who may not know me very well, or maybe this is your first time on this channel, let me just tell you, I am a conservative, I'm a Trump voter. But I'm trying to give you an objective analysis of what I think of what's happening based on my observation. So when Biden was in the race, when Joe Biden was in the race, Trump was clearly leading. So I want to welcome a few more viewers here. American Muscle, welcome to my live stream. Mike Mimic, welcome to my live stream. Bass Bandit is here. So, yeah, thank you all for being here. And by the way, those who are joining, please subscribe and stay connected with me. When Biden was in the race, Trump was clearly leading. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, it was Trump versus Biden, and we know that Trump was winning. But after Biden's departure, there is growing uncertainty. There's growing uncertainty, and that's a fact. There seems to be a lot of money flowing towards the Harris campaign. She has raised a lot of money since jumping into the race. But Trump has also raised a lot of money. He definitely has. And there are still months left. I mean, this race is heated. And we're going to see a lot of excitement going forward. Money is important. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's the reality of campaigning in this century. I mean, let me ask you, Baz Bandit, American Muscle, Mike Mimic, all the viewers who are here with me today, do you agree with me when I say that money is very important in running a successful campaign? I think you'll all agree. If you don't, let me know. But I'll also tell you that money is not everything. It's not everything. There are lots of emotions connected to the choices that people make. Let's talk about the RNC speech that Trump gave. The Republican National Convention, the speech that Trump delivered in front of thousands and thousands of people in that venue, and then obviously, millions watching from around the country and around the world. That RNC speech that Trump gave, it made people emotional. It made people very emotional. Trump, as he stood on that stage, he looked very, very presidential. D. Bryant has just joined. D. Bryant, thank you for joining this live stream. If you have any questions, let me know. Please subscribe and stay connected, my friends. So Trump's speech, he was looking presidential, and it brought people together. It did. I mean, in that room, as Trump was speaking, whether you were present in person in that room or whether you watched on TV, I think you understood that the Republicans are unified. They all came together to support our former commander-in-chief and hopefully our future commander-in-chief, Donald Trump. But that was when Biden was still in the race. But then Kamala Harris entered the race after Biden dropped out. And that gave renewed energy to the Democrats after Kamala Harris joined. Now, before that, the Democrats were actually feeling pretty hopeless, especially after the June debate, the presidential debate between Trump and Biden. After that Trump versus Biden debate and the extremely poor performance that people saw when they looked at Biden, when they saw Biden on stage and the things he said and how he answered questions, it was extremely poor performance. And a lot of people that evening came to the conclusion that Biden is not fit for office. And so people on the left, the Democrats, they were feeling quite hopeless. It seemed like they're giving up hope, and that they are sad because they can see Trump winning the 2024 race, and that there's no way Biden can win because he's not even fit to serve. That's how a lot of people felt on the left and on the right. People in general felt that. The Dems felt sad. The Republicans didn't feel sad, I think. I mean, because as long as Biden was in the race, Trump was ahead, everything was good for the Republicans. D. Bryant is writing, you sound like a foreigner. Do I sound like a foreigner, Bryant? Bryant, please describe to me what a foreigner sounds like. Because as far as I know, I'm a U.S. citizen. Bryant, I don't know what you mean by you sound like a foreigner. If you want to explain that to me, please go ahead. All right. Having said that, let me enjoy some green tea. Refreshing. Especially at night. I mean, this is 10:47 Central Time here in the beautiful city of Madison in the amazing state of Wisconsin. Okay, 10:47 p.m. and I'm drinking green tea. All right, folks. D. Bryant is writing, a foreigner says that Trump sounds presidential. You don't agree with me, D. Bryant? You don't agree with me? Trump did sound very presidential. He was on that stage. He had the microphone. He had a massive audience in the room. People were watching, millions and millions of people from all around the world. And Trump was delivering his speech. He did sound presidential, did he not? You're kidding no. D. Bryant, you're writing, you're kidding no one. I'm being serious. I am serious. If you don't believe me, D. Bryant, if you don't believe me, go and look at some of my past videos. Go and look at all of my past videos. Go and look at the live streams I did in the past. And you're going to know I'm not joking. I'm serious. I mean, I am serious. I voted for Trump in 2016. I voted for Trump in 2020. So, of course, D. Bryant writes, you must be from another country. D. Bryant, great guess. Great guess. I am originally from Bangladesh, South Asia. I came to the United States as an immigrant, a legal immigrant. Okay, legal immigrant. Oh, it was a beautiful day when I landed on U.S. soil for the first time. George Bush was the president back then. He was in office. 2007 is when I came to the U.S., D. Bryant. So you are right. I came from another country, but I am a U.S. citizen. I took the oath of allegiance to become a U.S. citizen in 2014. What a great year it was. And here's the fun thing. You're going to love this, D. Bryant. On my YouTube channel, I have a video of my naturalization ceremony. The day I took the oath of allegiance to become a U.S. citizen, there's a video of that. There's a video of me taking the oath. And so you can go check out that video. So D. Bryant, thanks for your comments. And now I do understand you're probably not a Trump fan. But that's okay. You know, I believe in freedom. Of course, we are a free country, the United States of America. Oh, Jason writes, Trump or Biden? Jason, I'm a Trump supporter, Trump 2024. I'm just having a conversation here with a viewer named D. Bryant, who's writing some comments. I'm trying to respond. And so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, I am a Republican because I believe in freedom. I'm a freedom-loving American. I believe in lower taxes, more freedom, more of your hard-earned money in your pocket, less regulations, let the market work, smaller and efficient government. That's what I believe in. So, as I was saying, Trump did look very presidential. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So, D. Bryant, you may disagree with my views, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're sharing your thoughts with me because I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in exchange of information and sharing of knowledge. I believe in dialogue. So I have lots of conversations with people who don't agree with me politically. Their political views are different from mine, but I still have those conversations because I want to hear what they have to say. And I like to express what I have in my mind. So D. Bryant, you may not agree with me, but I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you'll keep coming back and sharing your views and listening to mine. We'll have a dialogue. We'll have a conversation. And isn't that beautiful? Because this is a free country. We have the right to express our views. Pam K is here. Pam writes, I believe legal immigrants are more appreciative of our shared country. So thank you, Pam. Thank you so much. I love your comment. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I am always happy to talk about my immigration journey. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I want to share with you that I have been publishing videos for quite a while, and I have been doing these live streams since January. And I also have a podcast. And so the audio version of my podcast episodes are available on the internet on, I think, Apple Podcast and other directories. But then I also put the video version of my podcast episodes on my YouTube channel. So if you're following my YouTube channel, you'll find a lot of information here. Now, I do speak at a lot of different events. Just in recent months, I have been invited to speak at a lot of different events. Here in Wisconsin, the Door County Republican Party invited me as their featured speaker. I was a special guest speaker at their Lincoln Day dinner in Door County. I went and shared my experience as an immigrant, and talked about immigration issues, and I talked about why we need to secure the border. And then I spoke in Iowa County here in Wisconsin at an event. I spoke at an event in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and obviously over the last many years, at least 10 years, I have spoken at lots of other events. So I'm a public speaker. I do lots of speaking. A lot of the videos are available on my YouTube channel, so I hope you'll watch those. So what I will tell you is that if you want to learn more about me, please go and check out some of my previous videos. And also what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to put my website address. Okay, it's tosifanam.net. Tosifanam, my first name, my last name.net. If you go to that website, it has a lot of information about me, my experience, things that I've done. And actually, I have written, I'm a writer. I write lots of opinion pieces, letters to editors, and op-eds. And 109, I've been published 109 times. Numerous newspapers published my writings. So I have a list of that on my website. If you go to my website and you click on published opinions, you're going to see, I think the list might show 108. I have not put the 109th article on there yet, but you can go check it out, see the things that I've written. My writings have appeared in the Boston Globe, USA Today, Chicago Tribune, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, the Capital Times here in Wisconsin, um, the Western Journal, New York Daily News, New York Post, and I have also appeared as a guest on Fox and Friends last year. I was a guest on Fox and Friends on Fox News to talk about immigration. What I'm going to do is I will, because I see a lot of new viewers here, I'm going to share that link. You see that link? You click on that link, it'll take you to a Fox News interview. And this is from June of 2023. I was a guest on Fox and Friends to talk about immigration issues. So there were two guests. I was a guest, and the other guest was Bernie Moreno, who is running for U.S. Senate from the great state of Ohio. And he got Trump endorsement. So we were the two guests. Pam K writes, I'm in Wisconsin also. Pam, where in Wisconsin are you? I'm curious to know if you want to share that, the name of the city. That'd be great. All right. So let me look at some comments here again. Jason writes, Trump 2024 ever. Yeah, Jason, I support Trump. Pam writes, he's a legal citizen. Yes, Pam, thank you so much. Yes, I am a legal citizen. So Jason, I appreciate your support. Pam, I appreciate your support very, very much. Jason writes, Texas here. I love Texas, Jason. I love Texas. I've been there once. It's been years. I went to Texas in 2018. Oh, what an amazing year it was. And, well, 2018 was a great year because Trump was in office, right? So I went to Texas in 2018 with my mother. We drove from Madison, Wisconsin to Dallas, Texas. Beautiful drive. Spent the Christmas there. The few days of Christmas, you know, we went there before Christmas. We left after Christmas. So we spent some time there. Came back. Pam writes Eau Claire. Oh, Pam, you're in Eau Claire. That's awesome. So Pam, are you connected to the Republican Party? Are you involved with the Republican Party in Wisconsin? Yeah, I'm asking questions. You can just write the answers. I'll be following the chat window. Wilbert Kennedy writes, sending love from South Carolina. Wilbert, thank you so much. We love South Carolina, another wonderful state. We love U.S. Senator Tim Scott in South Carolina and Lindsey Graham. They're great. Okay. All right. So, as I was saying, all the new viewers here, if you want to know more about me, just go to my website, tossifanam.net. Posted the link already. And also, check out my interview on Fox News last year. I've shared that link as well. I would appreciate it if you check it out. So, as I was saying, the Democrats, they were kind of feeling hopeless for a while. Pam writes, there's a center in Eau Claire here. Yes, I identify with the Republican Party. That is wonderful, Pam. Yeah, I'd love to, Pam, I'd love to hear your thoughts about, the U.S. Senate race in Wisconsin, the Eric Hovde versus Tammy Baldwin race. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, Pam. So what I'm also going to do, if anyone wants to reach me directly, if you want to send me an email, here's my email address. I just posted that. See, tossif@tossifanam.net. So if there are things you want to let me know, but you don't want to write it here in the chat window, I know people often use you know, sometimes people use their real names and sometimes not the real names here. So if you want to reach out to me, connect with me one-on-one, tossif@tossifanam.net. That's my email address. I'd love to hear more from you. Jason, you're from Texas. If you want to send me an email, let me know how things are going in Texas. I'm sure, I mean, Texas is amazing. Although the state has faced a lot of challenges because of the Biden border crisis, but Greg Abbott has done a great job. And Pam, if you want to write to me, if you want to send me an email, feel free to do that. Okay. You don't have to, but if you want to. And DK is here. DK, thank you for joining. You're writing. Good evening, host. I'm late tuning in. No problem, DK. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. I still have a lot to discuss. Okay, let me see. And Wilbert, you're from South Carolina. Wonderful state, South Carolina, Wilbert. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here, and hope you all can. I hope you all can subscribe and stay connected. All right. So as I was saying, okay, Pam is writing. I like most of Eric's political views, but don't agree with the stance on insurance. Okay. So to all those who are not from Wisconsin, what Pam is referring to is the Senate race, the U.S. Senate race that's going on here in Wisconsin. There's an incumbent U.S. Senator named Tammy Baldwin. She's a Democrat. And then we have a Republican also running, a Republican businessman named Eric Hovde. He's the front runner from the Republican side, and I'm pretty sure he's going to win the primary on August 13th and then go on to the general election. So, yeah, Pam writes, I especially didn't like Tammy's behavior during the pandemic. Pam, you are correct. It's not just Tammy. The Democrats, whether it's Tammy Baldwin, whether it's Governor Tony Evers in Wisconsin, the mayor of Madison, and a lot of other left-wing politicians, they wanted those shutdowns and those lockdowns and, keep people at home and, stop the businesses, pause everything, pause the economic activity. I mean, that harmed our economy so much. It is unbelievable the kind of damage those COVID lockdowns did to our economy. It's just, and especially the children who couldn't go to school, the children who had to wear masks during sports. I mean, imagine playing in the field wearing masks. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what the Democrats did. Pam writes, what are your views on the Wisconsin surplus? Okay. The surplus, the power of the purse is with the state legislature. I understand that the governor may be tempted to, use the surplus for things that he thinks would be his priority, but really it is the legislature that should decide how the Wisconsin surplus should be spent. Okay? So Pam writes, amen, you're right. That's my view. And really it's common sense view, right, Pam? You would agree. It's common sense. One person shouldn't be making decisions about where a massive surplus would go. It should be the legislature. And the legislature is made up of Democrats and Republicans. So they can come together and decide how the money should be spent. DK writes, here in California, it was insane during the pandemic. DK, I know it was insane in California during the pandemic. Remember Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom, he went to that luxurious restaurant, no social distancing, no masks, nothing. He's just hanging out with his buddies, having fun, enjoying good food, and he was violating, Gavin Newsom, the governor. He was violating those COVID policies that he himself implemented in the state. It is unbelievable. That's what Gavin did to California. I mean, that's what a lot of these Democrats do. And they make the rules, and they impose the rules on the civilian population, and they exempt themselves. They think they're special. Gavin Newsom, he probably thought he's special. And so he could go to that luxurious restaurant for a meal, to hang out with friends, have a good time, while the people suffered, the people in his state. So many businesses went out of business because they faced massive losses because of the COVID shutdowns and the lockdowns. It is heartbreaking what happened. And Pam, you know what happened in Wisconsin. What the Evers administration did. Many businesses were hurt in this state, in the state in which I live, the beautiful state of Wisconsin. What an amazing state we have, but the COVID lockdowns, the shutdowns, and the social distance, and the capacity limits, and the mask mandate, all of that hurt the people of Wisconsin, hurt the businesses of Wisconsin, the business owners of Wisconsin, the employees of Wisconsin. People had to go through tremendous pain and suffering. Tremendous pain and suffering. Because I remember those years. I remember 2020. I remember 2021. And if you go to my website, tossifanam.net, the address I just gave, I'll put it here again for those who may have missed it. If you go to the published opinions section, you're going to see that I have written some things about the COVID policies, and I opposed vaccine mandate. I opposed mask mandate. I believe in personal responsibility. I believe in freedom. I believe that you have the right to make your own healthcare decisions. You have the right to decide what vaccine you should get and if you should get a vaccine or not. That's your decision. I believe in medical freedom. So, my friends, as I was saying, I'm going to go back to the discussion I was having, but anytime you have a question, just let me know. The Democrats, when it was Trump versus Biden, a lot of Democrats, they started feeling hopeless because they could see that Biden would lose. They could see that Trump would win. And so the Democrats were feeling hopeless because they know that their policies are bad. I mean, look at what they did to the economy. Skyrocketing inflation, high gas prices. We lost our energy independence. The border crisis, rising crime in communities across the country, food insecurity. So many seniors cannot afford to get food. So many seniors have to depend on food pantries in order to get the food that they need because they cannot keep up with the expenses. They cannot afford good food. So the Democrat policies ruined our economy. When Trump was in office, we were doing great. Yes, there will always be challenges. Life's not perfect. An economy cannot be perfect. But when Trump was in office, everything was heading in the right direction. Business people had confidence. They were investing. They were expanding their operations. They were creating jobs. Prices were low. Gas was affordable. People could travel. And our standing in the global stage, it was great. Other countries respected us. And we lost that leadership. We lost the thriving economy because of the Biden administration's policies. So the Democrats know that their policies hurt our economy, and so they were very nervous when it was Trump versus Biden. And so you could see that right after that presidential debate that took place in June between Trump and Biden, when people realized all over the world that Biden is not fit for office, one after another, people started walking away from Biden. The Democrats, the high-ranking Democrats in the party, they started walking away from Biden. They started saying, hey, Joe, you gotta go. Joe, you gotta go. Joe, you should reconsider. You should not run. Hand it over to the next person. I mean, all of a sudden, you saw people after people from the Democratic Party, they started saying, hey, Joe, don't run. Exit the race. And it seemed that Joe was resisting. Joe Biden was, even after the whole world realized that Joe Biden is not fit for office, he kind of wanted to hang on. He wanted to just stay in the race. I mean, who wants to give up power, right? I mean, a Democrat who loves far-left policies, he wanted to stay in the race. He wanted to keep running, but he faced tremendous pressure. He faced pressure from the people in his own party. And so he decided to exit the race. Before I move forward, let me look at some comments. DK writes, the Democrats say my body, my choice. So I say to them the same thing, my body, my choice, about not wanting the vaccine. DK, exactly correct. I think individuals should have the right to make their own decisions about whether they want to get a vaccine or not. I oppose a vaccine mandate. People should be able to choose if they want to get the vaccine or not. I see Mike, a viewer named Mike. Mike writes, Mike is happy about Kamala being the nominee. Mike, where are you from, Mike? So Pam is writing to me, who do you think will take Wisconsin in the presidential? Pam, I think it's going to be Trump. I really think it's going to be Trump. But I do know it's going to be real close. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be tight. And then again, as Republicans, we're not going to take things for granted. The Republicans will have to work hard for each and every vote, because this is a swing state. Because, as you saw in 2022, people voted for a Republican statewide candidate. People voted for a Democrat statewide candidate. A Republican statewide candidate won in 2022. A Democratic statewide candidate won in 2022. So we are a real swing state. And I'm sure there are people out there who go here in Wisconsin, who go and they, for one race they vote for a Democrat, for another race they vote for a Republican. I think that does happen. And I don't remember who it was, but a few years ago, a person told me that he voted on the same ballot. He voted for a Republican for one race, and for a different race he voted for a Democrat. So really, I mean, a lot of people in Wisconsin, they don't follow the party line. They're gonna vote for whoever they want, a Democrat or a Republican, and maybe Democrat and Republican on the same ballot for different races. So that's why I say that I feel like this is going to be a repeat of 2016, that we're going to win Wisconsin for the presidential, that Trump's going to win Wisconsin like he did in 2016, but we can't take that for granted. The Republicans will have to campaign hard. They have to work hard for each and every vote. And so, as I was saying, so after Joe Biden left the race, Kamala Harris came in. I mean, she didn't really like come in. It seemed like the party kind of pushed her. The party pushed her forward. Initially, I think some people in the Democratic Party were a little bit uncertain, or at least that's what it seemed to the voters. You know, me reading the news, reading about some of the high-ranking Democrat officials, and hearing what they are saying, their statements or lack of statements. Initially, it seemed like there were some Democrats who were not super enthusiastic about Kamala Harris, but then eventually, one after another, people started giving their endorsements to Kamala Harris, and it just became very obvious that she would be the nominee. I mean, I was thinking that maybe Gretchen Whitmer would jump into the race, maybe J.B. Pritzker would jump into the race, maybe Pete Buttigieg would, maybe, Andy Beshear's name came up. Andy Beshear from Kentucky. I don't know what he accomplished in office, but his name was there. And on my channel, I did discuss a few names of people who I thought might jump into the race for the White House, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It seemed like the party kind of rallied around Kamala Harris, and very quickly she became the front runner, and now it seems that she's going to be the nominee. Mike writes, I'm big on Josh Shapiro. He'll win in 2028 if Kamala loses this year. So you like Josh Shapiro? Mike, what do you like about Josh Shapiro? Anything in particular other than the fact that he's from a swing state? Not like a swing state. I don't know if I should call it a swing state. A battleground state, Pennsylvania. Let me know what you like about Josh Shapiro. I'm just waiting to find out who Kamala Harris's running mate will be. I've had some discussion about that on my channel, but we don't know the answer yet. It seems like it's either going to be Josh Shapiro or Mark Kelly. But it also, I think I've seen some news that it may be Governor Walz from Minnesota. So anyway, the Democrats, after kind of feeling hopeless for a while with Biden running for a second term, after Biden exited the race and Kamala Harris jumped in, it seemed like the Democrats got a boost. They got a, they were like feeling, as I said, hopeless and lack of energy. Suddenly they're like energetic, the Democrats. Seem like they're happy with Kamala. They got Kamala. And, I'm seeing kind of similar enthusiasm among some left-wing female voters in 2016. A lot of left-wing female voters, they wanted Hillary to win. They wanted to see the first woman president. That didn't happen, and now they are hoping that Kamala would win. Um, Now, I don't know. I mean, I always believe that it's more about your qualifications. It's more about your personality and how you connect with voters and how trustworthy you are. I think these are the things that I look for in a candidate before voting. But there are other voters who look at candidates, um, and they look at male, female, young, old. We've heard that for a long time, with Trump being a senior citizen, with Biden being a senior citizen. A lot of people were saying on both sides that they want someone younger. So I've heard that, and then I also hear that there should be a female on the presidential ticket. So that's what a lot of people like about the Democratic ticket. We don't know who the VP will be, but the fact that there's a female at the top of the ticket, or so it seems as of now, Kamala Harris, that is energizing a lot of women voters. Now, on our side, there are two men on the ticket, but once again, it's not really about male, female. It's about who can get the job done. It's about qualifications. It's about policies. It's about who can get the job done, who can make America prosperous again. And so it could be a man, it could be a woman. Doesn't matter. I mean, I will tell you one thing. So when Nikki Haley was still in the race, running for president, I was not a huge Haley fan because I was supporting Trump, and I still do. But after Haley dropped out, after Haley exited the race, I did say this numerous times on this channel. You're going to have to look at my old videos. I did say that Trump should pick Nikki Haley for VP. And the reason I said that, because I know that in Wisconsin, there are many Republican voters who obviously vote for Republicans, but for whatever reason, Trump is not their most favorite candidate. There are many Republicans, and I know Republicans who they vote for Republicans, but they wanted Haley instead of Trump. And I was thinking that if Trump picks Nikki Haley for VP, then Trump's going to get all the votes. People who support Trump, he's going to get their votes, obviously. And then people who did not vote for Trump because they wanted to vote for Haley, Trump might also get those votes if Haley is on the ticket as Trump's running mate. So that was my logic. And then finally, I wrote a letter to the editor. I think it was, I don't know which paper published it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look it up here real quick, okay? I'm on my own website going through the list. It was New York Daily News in which my letter to the editor was published. And in that letter to the editor, I finally said it should be Tim Scott. That was my final pick. I said, Tim Scott, pick Tim Scott. But before that, I was saying Haley. Now, I did feel that having a woman as a running mate on the Republican ticket would help, especially in Wisconsin. There are the suburban women votes here in Wisconsin. There are women who are Republicans, but people I personally know, and I'm not giving you statistics because I'm not discussing poll data here. I'm not looking at polls. I'm just telling you what I have observed and learned from my own experience. There are women in Wisconsin who are Republicans, they are conservatives, but they're not very excited about Trump. Maybe now they are, but maybe eventually they'll vote for Trump. But there are women voters who are not super enthusiastic about Trump. And I thought that having Nikki Haley on the ticket would help encourage some of the women voters in Wisconsin to vote for the Trump Haley ticket. So that was my logic, as I said. Uh, Now Trump picked Vance, and I don't know what Trump was thinking when he picked Vance. I'm not trying. I haven't tried to understand his logic and reasoning, but one thing I do understand, which I mentioned in another letter to the editor that I wrote, is that by choosing Vance, Trump is perhaps trying to send a message that it is time for the younger generation to come into the limelight of American politics. Because J.D. Vance is a millennial on a major party ticket, running for VP. So maybe the fact that Trump picked J.D. Vance, it would send a message to the country that, hey, millennials, get involved, run for office. So I when I look at the decision Trump made, I think it's a strong ticket. But then again, I also recognize that maybe having a woman on the ticket, Nikki Haley, or maybe Kristi Noem would be great too, or Sarah Sanders. Sarah Sanders would be amazing. But because Nikki Haley was running for president, let's just say Nikki Haley, having Nikki Haley as Trump's running mate would have helped. There are benefits of having somebody like Nikki Haley on the ticket. There are benefits of having somebody like J.D. Vance on the ticket. There are benefits of having an experienced legislator like Tim Scott on the ticket. I could say the same for Doug Burgum, a governor of a state, lots of experience in the private sector. So having him on the ticket would be great too. Glenn Youngkin, another amazing leader, having him on the ticket would be great. So on the Republican side, I think we had lots of great choices, and Trump had to pick one person. He picked J.D. Vance, and I support the ticket. I support the Trump-Vance ticket. But I also want to point out that I did advocate for Nikki Haley to be advocate, meaning on this channel I said that Trump should pick Nikki Haley. Someone writes, just because she's a woman doesn't mean she's right for the job. That is true, and that's what I said a while back here during this live stream. If you scroll back a few minutes, I said it's really about qualifications. It's about the policies. It's about who can get the job done. It's about who can make America prosperous again, make America great again. So I have confidence that Trump picked the person he thinks is best for the job. So let's just go ahead with that. But on the Democratic side, I see the enthusiasm, the new enthusiasm that they have now, having a female at the top of the ticket. And so that has given the Democratic Party a boost, because with Biden they were feeling quite hopeless, and now suddenly they have all this energy with Kamala Harris. Now, here in Wisconsin, I clearly remember when, after the presidential debate between Trump and Biden, Biden made a visit to Wisconsin. An incumbent Democrat U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin she's running for a third term in office, running for re-election. She did not appear alongside Joe Biden when he came to Wisconsin after the presidential debate with Trump. As I said, the Democrats were trying to walk away from Biden. And Tammy Baldwin did the same thing. She did not appear alongside Joe Biden when Biden came to Wisconsin for a visit. But then, after Biden left the race and Kamala Harris came and visited, Tammy Baldwin was there, enthusiastic about Kamala Harris visiting Wisconsin. So, Democrats have embraced Kamala, including Tammy Baldwin. She has also embraced the Democratic frontrunner. And so you're going to see the Democrats rally around Kamala Harris. And this race is heating up. This race is really heating up. Let me look at some comments here. DK writes, Republicans need to come together no matter which Republican you favor. Correct. Unity is strength, and we need to be united. And unity is something that I think I could feel when Trump was delivering his speech at the Republican National Convention. I was not at the convention physically, but even just watching on TV, I could feel the energy, the unity. A viewer writes, do you think it's going to be an over 300 electoral vote election for Trump? I don't know. I hope so. I mean, if Trump wins, let's look at the map from last time, all right? Give me 1 second. I've got my laptop right here, so I'm going to look it up. 2016 Electoral College map. Give me 1 second. So in 2016, Trump got 304 Electoral College votes. Trump won Wisconsin. Trump won Michigan. Trump won Pennsylvania. 3 major states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Trump also won Arizona. All right? So now, if you think about it, and give me 1 second, I'm gonna try to. Okay, I was just looking for something here. 304 Electoral College votes. Now, let's say Trump, doesn't win Wisconsin, which I think he will. He will win Wisconsin. Even if he doesn't win Wisconsin, he's still the winner. Let's say he doesn't win Michigan. Michigan is 16 Electoral College, right? Let's see. Michigan Electoral College votes. Hold on 1 second. So Michigan has does it say 15 here? 16. I have to see the votes, because I think after the census some of the states changed. All right. So Michigan has 15 is what I see here. Okay. So I think Trump will win Wisconsin. I'm not sure about Michigan, to be honest with you. I don't follow Michigan politics very closely. So I don't know. Pennsylvania, I think if Kamala Harris picks Josh Shapiro, then Pennsylvania may be tough. Just because as we saw with the Senate race between Dr. Oz and Fetterman, Fetterman ended up winning. I don't know how that happened. Um, I don't know how that happened. So I hope Trump wins Pennsylvania. I think there's enough reason for him to win Pennsylvania if you follow the logic. Um, lots of blue collar, uh, workers in Pennsylvania, and Trump is a good president for blue collar workers. And hardworking Americans their budgets have been devastated because of inflation. So I think people are sick and tired of the Democrat policies. So I expect Pennsylvania to vote for Trump. I expect Wisconsin to vote for Trump. Michigan, I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to Michigan. But if Harris picks Josh Shapiro for VP, then Harris may have an advantage there. Doesn't mean she's gonna win Pennsylvania, but I think it just becomes a little tougher for Trump then. Now, if Harris picks Mark Kelly, let's talk about Arizona. Mark Kelly is U.S. Senator from Arizona. And so Arizona is a little challenging, I think, for us. Trump may still be able to win it because Arizona is a border state. It's a border state. So the people of Arizona, they have seen the devastation that an open border policy can cause. So from that standpoint, I think the people of Arizona will vote for Trump. But then if Kamala Harris picks Mark Kelly, U.S. Senator from Arizona, that may make things, just like Pennsylvania, that may make things a little bit challenging. Now, people will say that voters vote based on who's at the top of the ticket, not based on who the VP pick is, but I think the VP pick does have an impact. That's what I think. So if Harris picks Josh Shapiro for VP, then that may give Harris some advantage in Pennsylvania. If Harris picks Mark Kelly from Arizona as VP, it would give Harris some advantage in Arizona. Doesn't guarantee a victory, but just an advantage. So to answer your question, I don't know if it's going to be a 300 electoral college vote victory for Trump. He doesn't need 300 electoral college votes, but that's what he should hope for. And then if it's not over 300, if it's just below, he can still win. So I think I'll have, that's a good question. I think what I'm going to try to do is maybe do a separate live stream just analyzing state by state the electoral college map. I think that's what I'm going to do because today there may not be enough time for me to go into the detailed discussion of the electoral map. So I'm going to try to do that on a different day. So I'm going to announce that ahead of time, and I'll discuss that, and I hope you can tune in. Okay. Viewer rights, and so your name over here, it says 026, and you've got your YouTube name. It's a mix of numbers and letters. So if you could just write your first name, that would be easier for me to address you then. But anyway, your comment is, I think the current administration is one of the worst to have ever been elected. And if Kamala gets elected, I doubt anything will change for the better. This country might go into total chaos. We are already almost in economic chaos. It is economic chaos right now. When you go to the grocery store and you've got a budget, you know how much you're going to spend, $50, $100, $200. You've got your, whether it's your weekly grocery or monthly grocery, whatever it may be, you've got a budget. And if you're the one who's doing grocery shopping for the family, if you're the one who's always making trips, if you're the one who keeps track of the prices and the budget, then over the last 3 years how much you've exceeded your budget. The same jam, the same bread, the same dozen eggs. Everything costs more and more money. Bathroom cleaning spray. All right? I mean, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, everything. Tea bags. I drink tea. Tea bags have gone up in price. Everything. Something is up by $1, something is up by 50 cents, something is up by $2. I mean, when you add all of that up, it's a lot of money that we're paying just because of inflation. Like, you've got your regular prices, and then take into account inflation, people are exceeding their budgets. And even if they received like salary increase or wage increase, it's likely not enough to keep up with the rising prices in the economy. So, I mean, people are already experiencing chaos when they are trying to buy all the things they need at the grocery store, and they have to also stay within the budget, and they can. I mean, it does feel chaotic. People are stressed. So, it's a sad situation here. So you're Jake. All right. It's Jake. Okay. So, Jake, thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe and stay connected. Frank Malloy. Frank is here. Frank writes, so Frank is asking people to vote blue. Well, Frank, I'm not voting blue, but you make your own decision, right? So if that's what you want, maybe I can try to convince you to vote red, to vote for Republican. But if you have made up your mind that you're going to vote blue, what else can I say? All right. DK writes, if you like to pay higher taxes, higher groceries, higher gas, then vote for the Democrats. DK is correct, Frank. DK is correct. That's what it is. I mean, that is what happened with the Democrats in charge. Higher taxes, higher prices for groceries, higher gas price. And DK, let me add the border crisis to the list. Trump worked really hard to secure the border. He was making great progress. The Democrats tried to stop him. Remember when they didn't want to give him, the funds needed to complete the border wall? And remember when left-wing activists were, challenging Trump in court and trying to stop the border wall and all that? Look what we have now. Border crisis, absolute crisis. So Claudette Olivier, is that how I pronounce it, Claudette? Claudette is writing, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. I apologize, okay? Claudette is writing, does the car of 10 years cost the same today? No. Get real, people. Educate yourself and get a good job and stuff. Claudette, I think people are really working hard, trying to do the best that they can. But there are some things that are beyond an individual's control. Like, I can work as hard as I can. I can try to manage my money properly. I can cut back on my expenses. I can eat less. I can repair my old clothes and not buy new ones. I can try to continue driving the same car even if it's super old rather than trying to get a new one. I mean, I can do all these things as an individual, as a consumer, as an American, as a taxpayer. But still, if inflation is way beyond control, no matter how much you try to save money, you're still not going to be able to keep up. Because inflation is just completely out of control. And so at some point, the American voters are going to have to say, okay, what did we get by voting blue? And so that's where that's where a lot of people would probably make the decision to vote red, to vote for Republicans. So Claudette, all right, Claudette. So I see your comment, Claudette. I see it. So Pam is writing, my husband works with 18 to 25 or so workers. He tells me they're all voting for Trump. They can't afford anything despite some of them working 2 jobs. Are you seeing this? Pam, a lot of people, they're not only working 2 jobs, they're working 3 jobs and still cannot make ends meet, especially families with children. They are struggling. They are really struggling. And, parents are having to make a lot of sacrifices. They're eating less. As I said, they're repairing their old clothes. They're trying to cut back on the expenses so that they can continue to buy the things that their children need. They're prioritizing their children's needs, making sure the children have, the supplies for school, that the parents can pay for whatever lessons the children need, piano lessons, dance lessons. A lot of parents, conservative parents, freedom-loving Americans, hardworking Americans, they are working really hard. And I talk to a lot of my conservative friends, but it's not just conservative. It's, people from, people regardless of their political preference, just people in general, hardworking Americans, they are struggling. And so many parents, they're doing the best that they can for their children, but they still are falling behind because inflation is so bad. And so, Pam, as you asked, it's not just 2 jobs. Like, people are working 3 jobs and still can't make ends meet. It's really sad what's going on. Let me see some comments here. So Jake is writing, we need trade workers in our economy. Yeah, trades are so important. We need carpenters, we need plumbers and electricians. We need a sound labor force. And, a lot of people go towards the trades. A lot of people go towards college. A lot of people go towards technical colleges, right? So, there are so many different options that people can pursue after graduating from high school. They can start making money right away by going into the trades, or they can go and pursue higher education. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's whatever that individual wants to do, whatever would make sense for that individual. But I think, what society must do is to help the high school students understand their options beyond high school. Like, okay, these are your choices. This is what happens. And parents should be involved in the decision making also, because, high school graduates, they're young. they may not be able to make the right decision. And that's okay, because sometimes we make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong decision, and then we try to correct it, and that's how we learn. It's a learning process in life, and that's fine. But I think the parents and career counselors in schools should be involved to try to show the high school graduates the different options that they have, so that they can make the right decision, or at least try to make the right decision, and have a productive life, and have stable income and a nice career pathway. Uh, all right, let's see. So Claudette writes, I don't complain. I am an immigrant who came here, educated myself, and doing well. Claudette, I am an immigrant too, Claudette. I am an immigrant too. I am an immigrant from Bangladesh. I came to the United States in 2007, and I've been here for many years. I'm a U.S. citizen now. I'm a proud American citizen. Claudette. Claudette, where are you from? What country did you come from? If you don't mind sharing it, please share it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to, please do it. Claudette, I know you probably don't agree with the things I'm saying in terms of my policy positions, my views, my political views, and how much I support the Republicans. But that's okay, Claudette. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me and still be a part of this community here on my channel, so that we can have discussion. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in dialogue. As I was saying earlier, I believe in exchange of information. I believe in learning from each other. So you can challenge my views, and if I don't agree with you, I'll tell you I don't agree with you, and we can still have this conversation. So Claudette, I hope you'll stay connected with me. I hope that you'll come back for more live streams. I really hope so. Okay, Claudette? Claudette writes, I'm from Jamaica. Jamaica is a beautiful place, Claudette. So thank you for sharing that. I hope you're having I hope you love America, Claudette. Obviously, you love this country. Otherwise, why would you come here as an immigrant, right? I came here as an immigrant because I love America. So I'm sure, Claudette, you also love this country very much. Welcome to America. Claudette writes, we play your cricket team all the while. I can talk about cricket with you, Claudette. I used to play cricket. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager. I loved playing cricket, and then I drifted away into doing other things, writing and writing poetry, writing essays, went into writing and speaking and other things, studying philosophy and Greek and Roman myth and lots of other things. I studied astrology for a while. I still have many books. Anyway, but yeah, Claudette, we can talk about cricket. By the way, I posted my website address previously. I'm going to post it again here, because I know as we keep chatting, you kind of have to look for it by scrolling. So here's my website, and here's my email address. If anyone wants to send me an email, please do so. Okay, stay connected with me. All right, let me see some comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Jake is writing about the wars that are taking place. Yeah, lots of unrest and conflict and wars going on in this world, and America ends up spending a lot of money in the aid that we provide to other countries. But that's another discussion we can have some other day. It's going to be a long discussion. All right. D is here. D writes, born and rise, America has changed a lot. Okay. DK writes, I'd rather vote for the guy with mean tweets than You know, Trump is not on X. I mean, I think he's on X, but I don't think he's active. He's posting more on Truth Social, right? I'm also on Truth Social. By the way, you can find me on Facebook if you want to connect with me. On Facebook, my name is Tausif Anam. You'll find a page with 5,000 plus followers. That's my page, Tausif Anam. You can look me up. I'm sure there are other Tausif Anams out there in the world, but you're gonna see my picture. You're gonna be able to find uh, my page. You can just hit follow and stay connected with me. Um, all right. So let's see. All right. DK writes Truth Social. Yes. All right, DK. I can follow you on Truth Social if you just write what to look for. What's your name on Truth Social? Oh, wow. It's just amazing. 1 hour, 25 minutes went by and we're still having this conversation. This is amazing. I love doing these live streams. I really do. And one thing I will tell you for those who are new to my channel, I'm going to tell you this. If you look at the history of the live streams I've done, since June, I had 12 guests on my channel. So I've said this before that since January, I started doing live streams. But since June, I started inviting guests on my channel. And so I have had some really wonderful guests who came and it's basically an interview format, a conversation format. I ask the questions, the guests answer. And I had some really amazing guests. So just recently, I had a Wisconsin state representative who came and spoke. Before that, I had a congressional candidate from the Milwaukee area in Wisconsin. Then I had another Wisconsin state representative from northern Wisconsin. And then I had a former mayor of a city in Wisconsin who also ran for lieutenant governor. He was a guest on my channel. I had a state senate candidate as a guest. I had an incumbent state senator who is also running for Congress. I had him as a guest on my channel. I had the vice chair of a local county party on my channel. I had another state assembly candidate. I had a really amazing person, a wonderful friend of mine, who is an advocate for medical freedom. She came and did an interview here on this channel. And then the Republican Party of Wisconsin, the state party, one of the board members from the executive committee of the state party also came to my channel as a guest, and we had a great conversation. And then there was another congressional candidate who came, and then a congressional district chairman from the Republican Party. It's the same district, the second congressional district in which I live. He came and he was the first guest on my channel. So anyway, I've had some really wonderful guests who did live stream with me. Those were all live discussions. I asked the questions, they answered. I asked follow-up questions. We had great discussion. So you can go and look at all those videos and you can let me know your thoughts, because those are some really wonderful people. And they are very successful. They are politically experienced. Some of them, as you would see, some of them are incumbent legislators at the state level. So amazing live streams. So please go check those out. And then let me know your thoughts. Just let me know your thoughts, my friends. So I don't have much more to add. I'm going to be trying to do live streams as much as I can. Not just live streams with other guests, but also live streams, like solo live streams like the one I'm doing today. So I would appreciate it um, if you stay connected with me. Please subscribe to my channel and tune in. Tune in for my live streams. So that's all I have for today, my friends. Do you have any questions for me? Anything you want to ask me? I'm going to be here for a minute. Let me see if you have any questions for me. If not, I will be ending this conversation in a couple minutes. But if you have any question, I can continue to talk. I can talk. I got no problem. I see more people are tuning in. I might as well stay. There's so much to discuss. As I said previously, there are so many things happening in the world of politics. Breaking news every day. There's some breaking news every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And so we can just continue talking. In fact, we're past midnight here in the Central Time Zone. So I started this live stream on August 3rd, and we are technically now in August 4th. But I'm still here, and I love the fact that you all have joined. It is so wonderful. Let me see if there are other questions. I don't see other questions here. Please send me an email, okay? If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to share anything that you can share here, get in touch with me. Send me an email. All right, my friends, that's all I have for today. What a wonderful time chatting with you all. Let's see. Claudette writes. Okay, Claudette doesn't seem to be a fan of Truth Social. Oh, Claudette. You know, you don't have to use Truth Social if you don't want to. That's fine, and you're obviously free to express your views. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people love Truth Social, trust me. But if you don't, that's okay. So Claudette, where are you from? What state are you in? I don't know if I asked you that. If you want to share that, if you want to, you could. It's up to you. If you want to share where you're from, please do so. If you want to, you can. Otherwise, I usually ask people what state they're from, what city. DK writes, still early here in the West Coast. So DK, you're in California. What city in California are you in? It's been so many years since I've been to California. Yeah, it is early. I mean, California, different time zone. Yeah. So near Sacramento. So okay, near Sacramento. That's nice. I've never been to Sacramento. I've been to San Diego. I've been to Los Angeles, Burbank. Claudette writes, I'm a travel nurse with a master's degree. I live in New York, but in Los Angeles right now, travel nursing. Okay, Claudette. Well, Claudette, you're a travel nurse, so thank you for being a healthcare professional. We appreciate doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals in general, especially now. There's a shortage of doctors, there's a shortage of nurses. So if you are a nurse, if you are contributing to keeping our healthcare sector strong, I appreciate you for that. Thank you, Claudette. DK writes, I was thinking about moving to Texas, though. This place is getting worse by every passing year. Texas would be a great state to move to. It would be an amazing state to move to. But moving can be tough. I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know if you work or if you're retired or what age group you fall in, DK, but I know that for working professionals, moving can be pretty challenging, especially if you've got a job, if you've got your social circles, if you've got a community, if you've got roots in the community, it's kind of hard to back everything up and move. And then you have to, I mean, sometimes people can do that quite easily, but then it can be quite challenging too, depending on individual circumstances. So, I'm hoping that California someday will be conservative. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be great. I hope the people will realize how much the Democrat policies have hurt the state. And I hope people in California will start voting for Republicans, for conservative candidates, for conservative leaders. So yeah, well, 1 hour 36 minutes. I am enjoying this. I've done really long live streams previously. I think I also did a live stream that was 2 hours, maybe 2 hours long. I love talking. I'm a public speaker. I do a lot of talking. You can probably tell from the videos that I have. Let's see. DK writes, if California went red, it wouldn't even cross my mind to leave. I understand that because California is such a beautiful state. I mean, God has given all the beautiful things to California. You've got the beautiful beaches, you've got the mountains, you've got the the flat desert areas. I mean, California has everything. The thing that California needs is good governance. That's what California doesn't have, good governance. That's why people need to vote for conservative leaders in California to have good leaders in the state legislature, in the governor's office, in the mayor's office, and other local offices, city council. So, all right, my friends, thank you for tuning in. It's just been so amazing having this conversation. I'm going to end this conversation now. I will be coming back with other videos and other live streams, so please stay connected with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I won't be able to thank each and every one of you by name, but DK, thank you for joining, and Claudette, and D, and Jake. I'm trying to scroll back and see all the names, and Pam, and Frank, Mike, and others. I may be missing some names, but all those who joined today, and D. Bryant, once again, I'll tell you, you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but please stay connected with me. Come and share your thoughts, and your views, your opinions. Ask me questions, challenge my views. That's fine. Claudette writes, so you're telling me that all conservative states have good governance? Claudette, no, I'm not drawing that kind of general conclusion. I think different states have different challenges. Blue states have challenges. Red states have challenges. But Claudette, what I want to say is that liberal governance, like liberal politicians being in charge in California, we know the result. We know the result. And DK can speak to that because DK lives in California. So we have seen what liberal politicians have done to California. And so that's why I'm saying it's time to elect conservatives in California so that they can move the state in the right direction, so that they can implement bold policies and make bold decisions and try to turn the state around. The state of California is now heading in the wrong direction. We need, you know, greater levels of fiscal responsibility and accountability and transparency. And so, Democrat leadership in California has not worked. And so it's time to vote for conservatives to see what they can accomplish in California. And I'm sure they'll do a good job. No, I'm not saying that, um, you know, all the red states, everything's perfect in the red states. No, I mean, each and every state has its own strengths and weaknesses and challenges, but conservative policies are usually common sense policies. You know, lower taxes, you get to keep more of your money, protect constitutional rights, including the Second Amendment, secure the border, have a legal immigration system that's efficient, and you know, don't mandate things like vaccines. Let people make their own healthcare decisions. You know, don't force people to take vaccines. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but these are policies that conservatives agree with, and so conservative policies are all about, you know, empowering individuals, letting them keep more of their money, lowering taxes, you know, making government efficient, and then you know, achieving energy independence and creating an environment in which businesses can thrive and prosper, and securing the border and having a sound legal immigration system. So, Claudette, I know as you have expressed, you're probably not going to agree with me, but that's fine. We'll continue the conversation some other day. So, thank you so much once again. I'll be back again with more videos, more live streams, so please stay connected with me. I hope you all have a wonderful night, my friends. Thank you so very much. I'll be back again. Have a wonderful night.